What's up, y'all? You heard about McDonald's in the news lately? Have you? Have you heard about it? Well, I wanted to take a second to take a look at the chart, see what the chart's telling us. There's a lot of news, a lot of blah blah blah, but a lot of things can be found in the chart, and the news is just a distraction. I actually find it quite funny if you can tell the market, whoever's trading this McDonald's stock around, they kind of made the golden arches within the stock chart. So that's kind of funny, right? Yeah, I wanted to go over McDonald's with you guys. It's an American icon, pretty much, you would say. It's kind of quintessential American culture company. Been around for a long time. And since it's been in the news, why not? Let's cover it a little bit. So as you can see, I've already done a little work here. And you can see in this instance how the chart played out a little bit. So, you kind of get excited here. Oh, nice. Big, decent move that allows you maybe to draw this analysis. But then look at the pain that, you would have had to hold throughout all this time. Of course, if you bought here, you're in plus territory here. Maybe you take a little profits. Maybe you think, oh, there's still a long way to go, so I'll just let it ride. And then obviously you get hurt a little bit by this move, and in terms of it's disappointing. Comes back, okay, now you're excited. Maybe you do take profits here because you know what happened last time, and well, then you kind of are proven right. If you do take profits, I would understand not taking profits because you still have all the way up to this target, theoretically, because this is all theoretics. We're just dealing in theory here, nothing's proven until time passes. So all theory here. And then you see this pretty intense pullback here. And from there, that's when McDonald's really kind of shoots up, takes off. If you saw my chart about, in my Disney comparison, we looked at the Marriott chart a little bit, and you can see points. You could kind of say, I don't think inflection's the term I'm looking for, but basically inflection points where the stock gets to a certain point and then the market just decides, okay, now we're going to send the stock to a higher level. So it's actually interesting. So you can see in the analysis, like this was the amount of time that you would give this trend to play out. But what actually kind of ends up happening is it tries to play out after that given amount of time. So again, this is kind of just theory, and you've got to understand that it can play out in a couple of different ways. It could not play out at all, and etc. So you really have to be cognizant of all the different things that can happen. And I think I'll make another video tonight going over something that has worked. Maybe I'll do the video on a comparison of something that has worked at the moment, and then something that hasn't gone maybe as I would have expected it to, or maybe it is going the way I expected. I'm not surprised that it's going this way, but it's not necessarily in my favor, or in the favor of the general trend idea. So anyway, yeah, here we got McDonald's, and I had done some work in the past on it. I won't try to bore you guys too much, but I did take a look at the longer term chart here, and there is kind of, and a news item that if you it might not actually have gotten out that much because, again, how many people really are paying attention to the market and to the news cycle unless it's put like right in front of their face. Um, well, basically, there were allegedly, there are some E. coli cases allegedly associated with McDonald's. Very coincidental. We're not going to draw any inferences here, and it's still an alleged thing. And even if it proves out, you know, you could still make some of your own inferences. I won't tell you what to think or necessarily what I think, but anyway, let's just get down to looking at what the chart looks like. And actually, again, not a recommendation to buy or sell. I did actually pick up some shares off of that sell-off related to the E. coli news, because I think in general McDonald's is gonna be fine, and yeah, it stinks. Getting sick is a risk we take when we eat anywhere or anything. So it's just unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate part of life, of course. But yeah, you can see, and this will be interesting to see how this actually ends up looking tomorrow, because it pulled. McDonald's is now at about 295, 296 ish. So like right here, but it still should have this kind of longer term signal, which, and again, we're looking at the 6-month chart here. So this is a longer term idea. And so yeah, then we'll just kind of do our little analysis type thing. And McDonald's is a pretty stalwart business. It's gonna be probably around for the foreseeable future. and it's just a matter of like, do you think that do you think that sales are going to remain consistent over time? And there's different arguments you can make, obviously, like, no, maybe I don't think they'll remain consistent over time, but I would say the odds are decent that their sales will remain pretty consistent and will grow fairly consistently overall. And not to get into it too much, but with marijuana legalization, what happens when you smoke weed? You get the munchies and you crave food, and fast food is a great way to get that craving satisfied. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're at 6 here. I think we gotta go because you count this bar as one bar, so you go one less here. So that would be 6 there. And then let's go on the 3-month as well and see what that looks like. That might give us a little different look. So I might actually end up drawing this off the 3-month, but based off the 6-month, there's still a little room to go. And again, McDonald's is pulled back to like 296 here, so that is where McDonald's sits at the moment. So let's just redraw this, and again, just trying to get the best idea about what the setup might look like. I don't pretend to be an exact scientist, but just trying to kind of keep giving myself the best information, and we'll see how things play out. You might be sick of me saying that if you watch my videos. It's kind of what I say every time. But anyway, just get the 259.61. And again, just going through my process a little bit here that I was taught. I get it's obviously not the most exciting thing necessarily, but just trying to get ideas for where this could go and if it's a good place to put my money for X amount of weeks, months, whatever. So 10, but there's a few of those that might not count. All right. And this might be at 10 already. I guess one more. So 343. But let's just again, just kind of presenting potential idea. If McDonald's was able to continue to trend higher, could it get up to this level? And again, it's not like super common for things to get to the second target like this, but it's a long-term, this is a long-term thing. So actually, let's just take it out up to here. So like, if McDonald's continued the trend that it's on, and I actually need to set my scales to a different scale. That would help, wouldn't it? That would help a lot. Basically, I need to set it to a logarithmic scale, and science on that basically just flattens out the price, I guess. But anyway, then it'll give us this same percentage here on this box. So that would send us to like 456. So, excuse me, sorry. I mean, in the near term, kind of gives it a 343.51 idea. Could it get, and then theory over the longer term, maybe it kind of gets up into here. So obviously McDonald's has had a big run over the years, especially for a fast food company and a big business fast food company at that. Since 2006, it's up 833%. So excuse me again. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, interesting stuff. But again, this gets you through a little bit of my process as well. Kind of the way I look at these setups. Let's take a look at the shorter term and see where McDonald's might be along in this path to these levels. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting spot. We'll see what happens. Again, like in my experience, I've had it so many times where things come back down to retest this area of big consolidation, and then they actually explode higher from there. So, maybe you can argue this is that retest here, and then this is the explosion higher. So, just for kicks and giggles, what? Oh. I am tired this evening. 9 o'clock, it's kind of late. I can definitely think about heading to bed here soon. So just for kicks and giggles though, let's just combine these two on top. So, not exact, but yeah, 455. So, if McDonald's did continue this move, and just with stocks in general, there's always pullbacks to other levels. Yeah, so I mean, if it continue to move like this, well, and again, McDonald's is now McDonald's will open somewhere around here tomorrow because of that news that broke this evening, late afternoon. So the trend line will, kind of be, it'll still be technically within this trend, but this trend line is very steep, we would call it. So the likelihood of this playing out this perfectly is not really that likely. That's kind of why I like to draw these triangles. And if you've watched my other videos before, you would have seen me draw you would have seen me already have this on the chart. Already have a triangle on the chart. And again, this just gives me an idea of like, what would it look like if this trend continued in a certain way. And, you know, and again, it just kind of helps you manage your risk. So, you should be prepared for McDonald's to theoretically pull back even all the way down into this area, and still be able to continue the trend. Again, I've seen things where, stocks pull back down to this area, these levels, wherever, again, whichever stock you're looking at, wherever your support is, you see a stock come down to here and then it shoots up, so there's a bunch of different ways things can play out within the trend. And so that's why you always have to manage your risk. As a trader, obviously, it's super important. As a long-term investor, maybe you just kind of are trying to get the idea of what a stock trend is doing, and then just kind of dollar cost average along the way. But yeah, I mean, this is just some stuff to show you guys. This is a process that I go through with the things I look at, and I think it does help present some very, very useful information in what a stock might do over X period of time. So that's going to bug me because these aren't perfectly symmetrical, but whatever, it's fine. So yeah, anyway, this is my dive on McDonald's. Again, this is kind of a semi-deep dive. I didn't go into any fundamentals at all, because this is really more of a technical idea. Obviously, it's not hard to think too much about the fundamentals of McDonald's, but I'm definitely not getting into necessarily the fundamentals of their earnings and valuation and blah, blah, blah. Just looking at the technicals here and seeing what we can see and what might happen. So should be interesting, as it always is interesting for any stock, in my opinion, because I love looking at this stuff. So hope you enjoy. This is a bit of a longer one, but we did some work here and try to get some better ideas as to what specifically could play out here. And I'll create a playlist on McDonald's. I'll be looking at it again, just seeing how it's playing out. And again, like, one thing I've learned is when things move counter a trend, sometimes it sets up for a nice trade over the short term. So that's always something to look out for. And again, obviously, if you're not active in the markets, that's not a big deal. But for those of us who are active in the markets, and can potentially capitalize on short-term situations like that, it's really interesting to see. And you have to be looking at the charts pretty much every day, to make sure you're up to speed and see where there might be an opportunity within the shorter term to take those kinds of trades. So yeah, anyway, I extended the video by a couple minutes again. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, deep technical dive into McDonald's. I'll link some of my other videos here, probably a Disney one, since that's kind of one of my other ideas. Actually, while we're at it, why not just take a look here at Disney versus SPY. I think that was my most recent video. Again, my watch list is huge, so gotta go find Disney. There it is. I think it slightly outperformed. It slightly outperformed SPY today. Um, how is Disney doing in our little trend here? Well, it's pretty much stagnant, and that's fine. Um, it's an interesting spot. We'll see if it gets picked up by the buyers. Is the kind of way to think about that. And let's just give it a comparison to SPY. And similar thing here. Basically stagnant here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. With this stagnant, I'm kind of glad it's not like going here, because because then you worry about a pullback like down into here. This is definitely not strong movement at this point, but you never know. You never know how things can play out, and again, that's just looking at it from a trader's perspective. If you're in it for the long term, you really don't care what happens here. You just kind of are looking for it to generally trend higher from a longer term perspective. So um, again, only time will tell. So we'll see. I'll hop off here. I'll probably make another video here. I'll compare what a trade that is trending technically in the right way that I was looking at it to trend to, and not a stock, but the VCLT Vanguard Corporate Long Term Bonds. Um, that one is counter trend movement at the moment. So, all right. See you guys later. Have a nice evening. Catch you in the next one.